They say that your taste in cars can 1. Tell us who you are, and 2. Tell us just how loaded your wallet is. Now, for a very broke guy with a very fast internet, I take a good amount of time scrolling through Instagram, and on a daily basis, I find about 200 to 300 new ladies I want to spend my life with. For another huge chunk of my day, I spend it looking at cars. Yes, I'm a very huge fan of Tesla's new release, but put a knife in front of a Shelby Mustang GT 500 V8 engine, 70,600 horsepower, RIA 0 miles per hour in 3.3 seconds. And I will lay down my life so you don't scratch that $80,000 beauty. We'll be talking about places that could feed 1,000 families and still have room to accommodate a few thousand more. The world's wealthiest car collections. I do not kid you. There are they that own for the luxury and the name, and then there are they that own for the love of it. We'll be picking out 5 of the wealthiest collections. Starting off, the Sultan of Brunei. Hassan al-Bolkiah is one of the monarchs in the modern world. He is the current king, prime minister, defense minister, finance minister, and head of religion of Brunei. After the king of Thailand with a crazy sum of $35 billion, the Sultan of Brunei is the second richest royal in the world, with a sum of $20 billion in net worth. It is safe to say that the Sultan's hobby is not far-fetched from mine, and I don't mean ogling as Megan the Stag's racious behind, but I meant our shared love for cars. The Sultan of Brunei owns between 4,000 and 7,000 cars, exclusively including over 600 Rolls-Royces, over 500 Mercedes, over 450 Ferraris, and cars we don't even know existed. There's never been a first-hand catalog on his cars, but we'll be checking what we know. The Sultan of Brunei spent $14 million on a 24-karat gold-plated limousine for his wedding. Once he went on a Rolls-Royce shopping spree that cost over $400 million. He also got his hands on a Ferrari Mythos, a concept car, and by the name, that car was meant to be a myth. But the mysteries of 3 of those cars are resting with them in the Sultan's garage. He's not just into cars you've never seen or never thought existed. He's very into rare cars. Owning 10 of McLaren's F1 and only 106 of that car was ever produced. He's also got the FXX, the 1,306 horsepower with a V12 hybrid engine, a car you cannot drive on any road. Now, who would want to own a car you can't drive? The car remained with Ferrari for the first few years of ownership. Let's talk about the Bugattis. The Sultan owns a few Bugattis, and when I say a few, I mean a few hundred, including 4 custom-built EB110S models, and all 4 models were built differently. This man has got taste. Now let's talk about Jay Leno, the man who owns every man's dream. This man has the coolest toy in Gotham City literally sitting in his garage, the Batmobile tumbler from the Nolan trilogy. Yes! This guy can literally drive past at night with the I Am Batman soundtrack and I will shriek. By the way, where is the Batpod? With the title #1 Car Collector comes a great garage. His legendary collection includes around 180 cars. The crown jewel of his collection is the McLaren F1, the first one ever imported into the US, valued at $14 million. Jay's garage is also home to a Chrysler Turbine, a Lamborghini Miura, a P400, and a Duesenberg Walker Coupe. As if that weren't enough, Jay also has a Ferret Scout Army vehicle parked among the sports cars. But let's get to the real beast in the garage, his tank car. No, that's not a nickname, it's an actual tank. This monstrous machine flexes a 30-liter V12 engine with a horsepower range between 900 and 1,600. And it doesn't just sit there looking pretty, it goes from 0 to 60 miles per hour in 380 seconds, 6.2 seconds. His exotic car collection ranges from tiny microcars and hot rods to a pre-1900 steam car, the latest hypercars from Europe, and an American Lefrance fire engine. He's got a 1912 Stanley Steamer, a 1913 Mercer Raceabout, a 1918 Stutz Bearcat, and a 1963 Jaguar XKE. I know we've been building garages like this in Grand Theft Auto, but these guys are building it like they're picking sticks from their backyard. For the third collection, we'll be looking into Ralph Lauren's garage. Now, this guy doesn't just have a garage, he's keeping the best of the classic cars in his garage. In fact, we'll call it his museum. While the man is globally known for looking like he just stepped straight out of a fashion magazine, he also has a side hobby that screams luxury in an entirely different way: collecting antique cars. He's keeping a fleet of automotive masterpieces that makes your dreams look like child's play. Ralph Lauren's garage isn't just any museum garage, it's a shrine to mechanical gods. His collection spans multiple countries and generations, showcasing rare classics and hypercars that could make you look down on your average Lamborghini. He owns the most expensive Ferrari ever made, the Ferrari 250 GTO. That's right, the kind of car that costs more than most people's entire bloodline is just another toy for Ralph. Tucked away in this temple are pre-World War II Alfa Romeos, vintage Jaguars, Bentleys, and even Bugattis that even James Bond is crying to get his hands on. The true gem of his collection is a 1938 Bugatti Type 57 SC Atlantic, a car so rare it feels like it was built by mythological beings. Deep in the heart of his car museum is a Lamborghini Reventon Roadster. With a price tag of $2 million, this beauty packs a 6.5-liter V12 engine under the hood, producing a blistering 60,070 horsepower and going from 0 to 60 miles per hour in 3.8 seconds, 3.4 seconds. The blink of an eye. The same way he'll steal your girl, with the blink of an eye. Ralph Lauren's entire collection is valued at over $177 million. Yep, I audibly gasped too. I just have one question. Does anyone know how I can get my name into this guy's will? Kylie Jenner, the queen of Instagram and lip kits, also happens to have a car collection that could make even the Sultan of Brunei nod in approval. With a fleet of 15 cars, her love affair with luxury vehicles started at the tender age of 16 when she received an all-black Mercedes G-Wagon for her birthday. Sweet! But 18 days later, she drove that sweet baby into the rear end of a Toyota. Now, some say it was just teenage inexperience. While her beloved G-Wagon was in the shop getting a facelift, Kylie didn't sit around sulking. She was spotted driving a white G-Wagon the next day. Apparently, one wasn't enough for her, because she then wrapped the original in velvet before buying two more. One in black and one in beige, each costing a casual $215,000. I mean, how many G-Wagons does one person need? At this rate, she's got enough to start her own army of luxury SUVs, and I've got enough reason to date her daughter. When she's of age, Kylie then decided to switch things up a bit and got herself a Range Rover autobiography. And when they say autobiography, they mean it, because you can customize everything down to the stitching, making it your story on wheels. Of course, that set her back another $170,000. But hey, it's not really splurging until you get into the supercars. Her first Ferrari, a yellow Spider, cost $222,000. But why stop at one when you can easily pick up another one? She dropped another $224,000 on a blue Ferrari Italia. Clearly, the 0.3-second difference in acceleration was so worth it. For someone like me and a few others watching this, we get one car. It'll be enough for the next few years before we upgrade it. But Kylie's true love seems to be Lamborghinis. She's got 3 of them. First up, the $230,000 Urus, which, let's be honest, is basically the Toyota Camry of Beverly Hills, considering how common they are in LA. She's also got a sleek black Lambo worth $350,000. Travis added to that list by gifting her a $1.4 million LaFerrari. Of course, Kylie couldn't call it quits without adding a pink Rolls-Royce to her collection because, duh, pink is her signature color. But just for kicks, she also owns a $300,000 Rolls-Royce Ghost, all white. Because if you're going to have a Ghost, why not make it the traditional white on white? And then, the pièce de résistance, a $3 million Bugatti Chiron. You know, for when she really wants to remind everyone that she's obnoxiously rich. Total car collection value is a cool $6 million. She's made a name, she's made the brand, she's got the wardrobe, and hell yeah, she's got the garage too. Jerry Seinfeld, the guy we know for his dry humor and that TV show about Seinfeld, has one of the most jaw-dropping car collections on the planet. If you thought his sitcom was successful, wait until you see his garage, or garages, because one simply isn't enough for this guy. He's just like me, I just can't risk having all my babies in one spot, and if they are in one location, that place has to be Moab-proof, because I'm losing my sweethearts. In fact, Jerry had to make room back in 2016 and sold off 16 of his Porsches for a whopping $22 million. Imagine having so many luxury cars that you need to do a garage sale just to make space. I could have just gotten a new garage, but I'm not judging. Seinfeld's true love is Porsche, and his collection is essentially a shrine to the brand. Among his most prized possessions is the Porsche 918 Spyder, a hybrid hypercar that looks like it was built for a James Bond villain. This 2015 beast comes with a 4.6-liter V8 engine paired with 2 electric motors, giving it an insane 0 to 60 miles per hour time of 2.6 seconds and a top speed of 214 miles per hour. Talk about overcompensating. Okay, I won't lie, that's fast. The 918 Spyder is the kind of car that screams, sexy and well. Forget about your mama if you see her sitting in my Porsche 928 Spyder. And while the Porsche 918 is one of his newer toys, Seinfeld has a soft spot for the classics. His collection includes vintage Corvettes, Jaguars, and a variety of British beauties that probably require more maintenance than his sitcom ever did. But his crown jewel isn't a Porsche. It's a 1955 Mercedes-Benz 300 SL Gullwing, worth around $1.4 million. This car, with its iconic upward-opening doors, is what every car collector dreams about at night, just before realizing they'll never be able to afford it. Altogether, Seinfeld's collection is valued at over $44 million. Yeah, $44 million. He's basically living out every car enthusiast's dream, except instead of a midlife crisis, he's having a lifelong obsession with Porsche. That's all the sweet garages I can tell you about right now. I know, between you and me, if you had that kind of money, you'd have a buckload of cars. If you got this far, drop in the comment section one of the sweet rides you'd have in your garage if you had the money to buy it. And for the love of it, would you have 2? Or even more? Don't forget to like and subscribe so you never miss a content like this.